All right, welcome back to semifinals game of this month's MSEM GP. Here with me, I have Asti, who just joined the voice chat.
Hello. I was playing video game, so I'm lucky
Okay.
I clicked off at the right time.
Oh, Epid's going to refill their water. Okay, I
Oh,
guess
perfect.
I guess we weren't in a
Joyous
rush.
occasion. Joyous occasion. I wasn't in a rush. I was playing hit word puzzle game Lingo.
I've never heard of it.
It's a like 7 out of 10, honestly.
Hmm.
The base game's like a 7 out of 10, but it's really easy to mod,
I
and the
see.
mods are actually really good.
I see.
Have you heard of Antichamber?
Is that like the Portal-esque game?
Yeah, it kind of is the antechamber problem where it's a bunch of like kind of featureless hallways,
I see.
and because the game uses non-Euclidean geometry, it's really hard to find your way around.
Okay. Anyways, thanks for that discuss. Oh well.
Unrelated, yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to the game. We have Cyber,
Uh,
who is on Grixis Megalokraken, which is a mid-range E control-ish value deck in Grixis. And we have Epid on Grixis Casino Scam, which is a value E granny-ish mid-range combo deck in Grixis.
yeah,
Uh, I'm actually
maybe
I'm kind of joking on the last one.
Megalokraken's not really a combo deck, is it?
No, it's not. It's
Okay.
very much a value deck.
Grixis mid-range value deck versus Grixis mid-range combo deck.
It's a combo value deck. It's Casino Scam. If you haven't heard about Casino Scam before, I mean, Asti, can you explain the combo? Because you're
Casino Scam is the main piece of the card buy time, which is your life total becomes 0 until an opponent's next turn. You can't lose the game. Opponents can't win the game. You can't gain life. It's also the card All or Nothing, which is you choose a number, reveal that many cards at the top of your library, put them in your hand. You lose life. You have the total mana value of those cards. I think if you put those cards together, you simply draw your whole deck.
yeah.
Then the win con in this deck is Sacred Songs, which as being your upkeep, if there are 24 or more non-creature cards in your graveyard, you win the game. So you just discard all those cards, take your extra turn with buy time, upkeep, win the game.
So
And
Epid's
then
going with turn one discard into Cyber's hand that has turn one discard. Actually, look at the amount of discard in both players' hands right now.
I mean, discard good. Targeted discard good. Expose is a great card, and Prying Inquiry is a great card.
Yeah.
You see play for a reason. Hey, Valdez has been a staple since it was printed, you know. Decides to go with the Lucian,
Huh.
which
Interesting. I guess Epid's going
eh,
for the long game.
I
Like
suppose,
they
yeah.
figured that their hand's going to get torn apart by the Valdez anyways, so might as well not give Cyber the chance to drop something after the discard.
And like Lucian's kind of annoying to deal with. He dodges your Exant, and he dodges like
Does he dodge
regular
Exant?
it says sacrifice a creature. It's not
Yeah.
a creature.
Well,
I mean, I guess if it is instant speed, but
so yeah, Valdez comes down and pinches high, which gets rid of. Well, Epid gets to choose
either
which
one of
one.
those cards. Do you keep? I mean,
I think you pitch. Actually, maybe you keep Prying Inquiry and then
you keep Prying Inquiry because it's still a card draw card.
yeah,
Although
and
it's up to you. Do you know what's in your opponent's hand? You basically know.
I mean, if you're
Because
prying away the Anapraxis, then Cyber doesn't have any plays.
yeah, I think the only thing that Cyber doesn't know about, the only thing that Epid doesn't know about is a Shiftscape Morass. So it's up to you if you think you want
Well,
to get rid of the card or
are you
not.
starting to call these guys Shiftscape lands? I'm still calling them shifting lands.
I just read them. I just read the
I'm
card.
too used to calling them shifting whatever to call them
I
by a new name.
I wasn't playing. I I
No,
mean I wasn't playing too much during the shifting era.
no, you
I don't
totally
think.
were. That was like when I was winning all those GPs.
That's true. Yeah, shift. You turn to shift land, confirm hypothesis.
Yeah, I miss that so much.
I kind of don't.
Uh,
It's I guess you hit Anapraxia's Endeavor, and then your opponent just has like one land and three
uh.
Valdezes. That's what Cyber drew. Another Valdez.
So the problem right now is that you can't drop Villainy. Like Villainy is going to get discarded, and then both players empty-handed, except Cyber has the Valdez's eventually.
Eventually, but by then, I mean, Epid's got a clue. So both players are just gonna kind of draw. LMAO in the chat,
I think
which
you
is
do take
fair.
an Apraxis here though, because that's the
Yeah.
most. It could be the most impactful card.
Um, yeah, I think Does
Valdez,
Valdez? I don't think you get rid of a Valdez. I think the difference in your opponent having 2 Valdezes or 3 Valdezes isn't that big.
especially because of it's legendary, so they don't stack well.
And they're gonna Valdez you this turn anyway and get rid of your villainy. So
Fifth Gate Craig.
I think taking the Anapraxis Endeavor, maybe you're like, oh, I don't care about my hand being discarded. They're still gonna Valdez you.
They're going to keep up Anapraxias.
If Epid draws
Darn.
draws Exxon.
On the bright side, you can still crack Clue at next turn, and
I
that.
guess you play Mirror Gate named Shiftscape Morass. What do you
Is that even?
name with
No, I
Mirror?
don't think that's even good for you.
What do you name it?
Does Cyber have any special lands?
They are on Heart of Zadina and Monument of Queens.
Oh, they are. Okay, yeah. Now those are things to name then.
So you name one of those, yeah.
You name. Do you need to name Monument? Epid's deck is pretty good against Monument. You have tons of instant speed creature kill.
You have Exit.
Yeah.
You also, I mean, nah, because Celestial Banishment doesn't work.
It's not land.
It's Monument's a land.
Yeah.
Doesn't stop
Celestial
being a land.
Banishment is non-land only.
Yeah, it doesn't work. I mean, you have. I don't think you're. I think. Well, now that Heart of Zadina's nerfed, I don't know how worried I would be about it.
It still breaks even when you're at 7 lands, I think.
Epid does name Heart of Zadina. I mean, it just taps for 3 now if you have 7 lands.
Yeah, so it's like if you actually count how much mana you make with old Heart of Zadina compared to new Heart of Zadina, you still make the same amount at 7 lands, I think. Ooh, Root Corruption. That's a good top deck.
That's a good card, yeah. I think the Root Corruption and Shiftscape synergy is just so good. Like, Root Corruption is such a good card. It's rampant growth if you build your deck around it. As simple as that. And it's also a counter spell.
You know what that reminds me of, Asti? I thought you were going to catch it. Yeah, there you go. You got my setup. It's like
I had to think for a while for that. Honestly,
we were just talking about Confirm. How did you forget already?
It's like 2:30 a.m., Ricky. That's why. It's almost 3 a.m. That's why.
It's almost 12 a.m. for me.
West Coast Canadian. I don't know what cities are over
Exposed. That's pretty good.
And,
yeah. How does Cyber deal with villainy? Can Cyber kill villainy?
Just counter it. You have Root Corruption.
Oh, right. Good point. So
simply counter it.
So the problem here is that if you don't jam villainy, you know your opponent has Valdez in hand.
Mm-hmm.
If you do jam villainy, I guess it eats a Root Corruption, which still ends up being decent for Epid because that's one less Root Corruption going towards being a rampant growth.
Yeah. So does jam villainy, does get Root Corruption as expected. That's reasonable. I mean, your opponent.
Both players don't have much action right now, right?
No. Root Corruption is the only counter spell your opponent could have there because they weren't on Crystal Wave mana. Plays other Valdez. Says hi.
That's snag Celestial Banishment, I guess.
That is a card in hand. Celestial Banishment is a nice card, but like,
yeah,
I feel like Expose, Exunt, and like I feel like all those cards are almost kind of very even.
Epid draws a land.
Land? Okay, it's on tap land.
Yeah, unfortunately, not much to do with that. But do you? I guess. Do you expose now?
You might as well. I think there's a reason not to.
You might not hit anything useful.
You know Anapraxia is still in hand. That's the question, if you want to hit Anapraxia or not.
Yeah, I don't think you can afford to name any other color. No, if you jam Expose, your opponent just Anapraxias in response.
Yeah, they just Anapraxia and get their Valdez out of their grave. So
is Valdez in grave right now? Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, this is Valdez. Yeah, one got pitched with the Prying Inquiry, I think.
So there is one upside to all this. If Cyber tries to Anapraxias in response. Okay, so yeah, if Cyber decides to Anapraxias in response, Epid gets to change their mind on what color they name because you name on resolution.
Yeah, but you still name black.
If Cyber tries to Anapraxia with the Graveyard Exile mode, maybe you name something else. Yeah.
Okay, it does.
So now I guess Epid it's basically luck or it's basically RNG at this point. What you name, right?
Yeah, I mean the deck is pretty even. I guess the question is in your mind, what is the card that would be worst for them to have?
Probably one of the red cards or one of the blue cards.
I think red, because that's like Valerie Creepak, Lucian, that's Flames Approach.
Yeah.
Flames Approach, not a big deal, but so it's either red or blue, your opponent's on 3 mana. I guess I'd say blue, because you can answer like a Lucian trying to become a creature a lot better than you can answer a Megalokraken, because they're gonna get the ETB, they're gonna get the spell.
Cyber's still pretty far away from Megalokraken.
That's true. Yeah, the mana here is light for both players. There's not a lot here.
So yeah, thinking.
You don't know this card. I would not still name black, I don't think. The black cards in this deck are a lot more supportive in general.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of them are useful right now.
They named blue and whiff, but
Name's blue gonna whiff.
but that's still reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, it hits a Root Corruption, it hits a Megalokraken, hits a Maze Collection or a Crystal Wave.
And also, Void Flare is not very impactful in this matchup anyways.
And Void Flare doesn't do really much of anything.
At least unless it's like in a game and it gets copied or something and blows up Epid's face. Cyber says, "I'm afraid you have switched to the goat door."
The only thing it does kill a Valdez, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think it really doesn't do anything against Epid's deck.
So Valdez number 1.
Simply exunt it.
No, you might not want to exunt here because that just opens up Valdez number 2. Oh well, I guess Epid's not doing that. But like if you
draw second exit,
if you hold 2 cards, Valdez is only chipping in for 2 a turn. It's not that bad. You can just hold the exunt.
True. That's survivable. Gets murky, draws Murky Pete.
Okay, now they need to top deck stuff.
That is a corpse pad at least.
Oh yeah, good point. I think can't fetch corpse bed. There's nothing good to exile right now, but
I don't think you don't care, but you can.
Yeah, so now like Valdez number 2 as a 4/3, and you have nothing in hand. So like I don't think you should be running out.
Epid's simply gonna draw another exunt here. I think that's the factor you're not considering.
Exunt wouldn't actually be a good draw here. Or there's way better draws than Exunt right now. Also,
just draw Find Happiness and Misery.
Corpse bed.
Just get corpse bed.
I guess exiling these guys ahead of time in case one of the flashbackers comes down.
Yeah.
Oh wait, oh right, and Apraxia targets, right?
That's true. It is.
I would be more worried about Valerie coming down and flashing something back, but I guess that's also oh.
I'm simply never wrong.
Are you?
I said they're gonna draw second exunt.
Are you sure you're not setting this up?
Do you think I have my finger on the scale somewhere? I'm rigging the match somehow.
Like you hacked Cockatrice's servers?
I got a line on DraftKings right now. I got the over on exuns drawn.
So who has better draws right now? I still think Cyber has better top. Oh well. Epid needs to find another exunt now.
Should have saved the corpse bed simply.
Honestly, I'm actually good point. Maybe they should have saved the crack. Was Epid holding any 5-drop that they needed to fetch out corpse fed untapped for?
No.
Yeah, right.
Epid had no cards in hand.
Probably should have held.
Epid simply, I don't know at this point.
So I guess you
draws land.
You hold.
Yeah.
Just as like so that your opponent's tempted to hand attack you. How much hand attack does Cyber have left?
Let's see. Cyber used a Prying Inquiry and 3 Valdezes. No, they didn't have a Prying Inquiry. So 3 Valdez means there's 1 Valdez and then 2 Prying Inquiries left in deck.
Ooh, Maze Collection. That's really good.
Yeah, whatever cards Maze Collection makes, which I don't know off my dome, but that's pretty good.
Well, Flame's Approach comes down as a creature. Epid needs to find a way to answer this, or else they're going to die in very short order.
They're going to die in 2 turns, actually. 1 turn because of the oob.
It's untapped, but that thing has menace for some reason.
Yeah. So it attacks, does 3, Void Flare, lethal.
So Void Flare did end up mattering this game.
What was that?
Void Flare did end up mattering this game then.
True. I mean,
Maze Collection.
Technically, it only matters if Epid has a removal spell on top.
Epid could have top decked like buy time into all or nothing. So killing Epid 1 turn or 1 draw step earlier could matter.
Yeah, there's also a chance of just land on top. It doesn't matter.
Anyways, let's
going to board.
Go to sideboarding. Let's look at Cyber's board first. We got
What do
these Neon Claw Knights. We got
what do
these
you
Prying
what's
Inquiries.
the plan against a combo deck like
Uh,
that? I mean, Prying Inquiry probably
yeah,
comes in.
bring in your discard spells. Bring in, I guess, your Neon Claw Knights because they're a clock against combo or something.
Yeah, faster clock.
And that's basically all you have.
Yeah.
Epid, on the other hand, has, I guess, a bunch of discard spells. That's really all they have, right? They got Long Forgotten, I guess. That's pretty decent.
That's not bad, yeah. Your opponent's putting cards in the
You
graveyard.
got Inapraxias.
Yeah. Probably bring Corrupted Memories.
Yep, like I said,
That hits the cards you need to hit, so is Duress.
bring in the discard spells, and I guess take out some removal. No, can you take out removal here? You probably take out the board wipes.
Yeah, you can probably take out the board wipes. That's not really a problem. Just board out a swamp.
Are you still on the board out lands plan?
I only do it in decks where I put too many lands in.
I think 25 is the right amount of lands for this deck.
Probably. I'm not a mathematician.
Me neither. Wait,
If
Cyber's
we
on
had
26 lands. Wow,
if we
that's...
had purple in here, then we could get some math. But
Yeah, but purple hasn't been around for I don't know how long.
it's been so long.
Yeah, it's been so long. I miss purple.
And the math, yeah.
Ever since
I
he
mean, you
joined
can.
council, he hasn't been as active in our commentaries.
Mm.
Must be all the council duty getting to him.
You going Hollywood on us?
Yeah.
I'm too big time now.
Now that he controls the format, he no longer has to dwell with us.
Make statements on it.
Anyways, I think the players are about ready. They're still taking some time, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
Cyber's still thinking. I mean, Cyber actually does have some pretty tough board decisions because, like, what do you bring out, right?
That's always the
Everything's
question.
good here.
The easy part about sideboarding is putting cards into your deck, and the hard part is taking cards out.
I think you just trim 2 Void Flares for like 2 Prying Inquiries, and maybe that's good enough because the rest of your deck's pretty good, and like you don't want to take out stuff for Neon Claw Knight.
Yeah.
Or maybe
I
you...
don't think this. The question is if there's anything that's like a slightly slower clock that you might want to swap out for Neon Claw Knight, but like I don't think there's anything that fits that bill.
Yeah. All right. So Epid gets a hand with 2 discard spells and a 4-drop. Cyber gets a hand with a Valerie Curve, or no, 5 lands and 2 spells. That are, if Cyber keeps this, it's going to be really bad into discard. Does Cyber
Ooh,
bargain?
that's a no lander, so you can't keep that.
That's 2 discard spells and a Megalokraken.
It is slow because all of your lands are Shiftscapes. I mean, you got Shiftscape Morass.
So this is extra bad because Epid has discard spells. Going down to 5, I mean.
So you expose, Epid expose names black, gets rid of Valdez, Cyber plays land.
No, I think you always Valdez first so that you don't whiff with expose.
True. Yeah. I mean, Valdez names bottoms the Valdez.
I mean,
which is bad because that means you're not getting any spells off.
Well, you weren't getting any spells off either with your colorless lands on turn 1.
Yeah, but that's true. It's a lot worse without having a swamp. Yeah, mulliganing to 5 against such a discard heavy deck is just...
Oof, that's a land. Yeah, maybe you should bottom up the other lands, but then you run into a situation where you don't draw any lands for a few turns, and then now the commentators say that you should have kept the land in hand.
No, there's gonna be, I'm gonna say 2 more lands on top.
How much are you willing to bet on that?
I got nothing to bet.
I hear stuff in your hand. Is that dice?
Yeah, I got my little dice container over here.
Why don't you just roll the dice and then we can like...
What would it tell me? I'm just like, oh, if I roll a 6, Cyber's drawing 2 lands. Psh. You have to crack. Don't forget to crack in your upkeep.
Oh, well, that's
not bad.
Actually, yeah, that's not bad. Do you name high or low? I think you... Okay, you name high.
High.
So that's an uncontested villainy coming down.
That's true. I don't think Cyber has a way to deal with a villainy once it's on the board.
Post board? Is there... Oh, there's isolated in the board. That technically deals with villainy.
I don't know if they would bring in isolated, though.
I mean, it's like... It technically also answers sacred songs.
That's true. If your opponent just has a sacred song sitting on board, they've made a mistake, I think. I feel like the plan is like buy time, all or nothing, Plays villainy with find happiness and misery.
Yep,
So you can get
that's
that.
a result villainy. That's
Get,
not good for Cyber.
I'm gonna say this is gonna be the blue shiftscape land on top. Ah, rats. Shouldn't have gotten so specific.
Yeah.
If I just said it was a shiftscape land, I would be rolling. Did bring in the long forgotten.
I mean, of course you do. It's a
You
graveyard
might as
deck.
well. Opponent's got a bunch of cards in deck. Great.
So Epid just goes find happiness into Long Forgotten and gets a bunch of villainy triggers, and Cyber's
Gets six damage, and then starts drawing off the long forgotten. And Cyber has two shiftscape crags in hand.
How does Cyber get back into this game?
I think you need to have isolate in the deck. You need to be able to deal with villainy. If you didn't board an isolate, I don't know if you have a way through. And because villainy is doing targeted damage, you're not sticking a planeswalker. Because your opponent's gonna get, card off the find happiness. Long
Yeah.
Forgotten draws a card on your upkeep. They're gonna come out of this with 3 cards in hand. So you can't really play like a planeswalker or creature. They do I think you have to have boarded and isolated.
So are you suggesting that Epid, or are you suggesting that Cyber boards and isolated, or are you saying that if Cyber boarded and isolated?
If cyberboard and isolated, then I think that's the clearest way out. There's always possibly draws where it's like, oh, hit, enough cards to stay afloat for a little bit, or drawing the right combination of cards. You can make a clock that can kind of do something, but it makes me wonder if you do bring in isolated. I don't think your plan is to you should have an answer to a villainy on turn 3 most of the time. It's just in this particular instance, you had bad lands. You can't go down to 4 there. You had 2 kind of tough draws. Didn't work out. Like you need to be keeping a hand with some hand attack. So you can't keep that first hand. Can't keep a no land, or you have to go down to 5.
Yeah.
Happens to the best players, really.
Yeah.
Sometimes you simply flop, which is why there's 3 games.
I mean, good analogy to a good word to use when Epid's playing Casino Scam.
Yeah. Mills Anapraxias and
Wait, why are they
Megalokraken.
milling the opponent? Oh, right, for a Long Forgotten fuel.
Yeah. It does a bunch of damage. Gonna draw
2 selection.
That is not a particularly good card here. Honestly.
It does protect against a lot of stuff, though. Or it protects against a lot of possible outs from Cyber.
Didn't stop isolated, though. I don't think
Why are we still on the isolated plan? I think we all know that Cyber did not bring in isolated.
Yeah. I mean, it shuts off Xanagan the Darkened Cloud.
After he already got an activation?
I guess. I mean...
Oh, Flames Approach. This would be a good card if it was in literally any other situation.
Well, that's the thing. It dies to villainy. Because you play Valdez.
I mean, Valdez does soak up some villainy triggers.
It does, in fact.
Unrelenting. What does that do?
So it probably just... It's a great question. I don't think you're even on Scam anymore. You're just like, I'm gonna use this Unrelenting, just drain.
Actually, good point. What do you think are the chances that Epid boarded out of Scam?
Do you board out it? Is there enough stuff to board in that's worth it?
Like you have a bunch of discard spells.
You're putting in the discard spells. I think your mid-range plan is just worse, though.
Fair.
Is the thing. I feel like I think you should be focusing on winning through combo.
Well, no, the thing is, Cyber can't deal with the resolved villainy, and you can deal with anything that Cyber can resolve, right? Or at least theoretically, you can deal with anything that Cyber resolves.
That is all the Shiftscape Crags.
Oof. Well, at least on the bright side, at least Cyber got out of their luck out in this game, so we can have a good game 3. Hopefully.
Game 3, Epid's gonna mold to like 4 probably. Like buy time, 2 lands, and an expose, and
then it's anticlimactic.
Yeah, if that happens, I don't know. It happens.
Also, I'm actually not sure who I'm rooting for because, like, personally, I want Gal to win a GP, so I'm hoping the person who has a worse matchup in the Gal's deck wins.
Who has a worse matchup into that?
Yeah, who has a worse matchup into Fireweaver 8-sack?
These decks are very similar and they're based. They're both Grixis mid-range decks.
I think like Fireweaver 8-sack is unfavored against both of these decks just because they have the sort of interaction that Fireweaver 8-sack does not like to see.
Yeah. Searches with Unrelenting.
Oh, and that's dead.
Cyber picks it up. You just like all or nothing for like a couple of just like honest all for nothing. Name like 4. Fair magic.
Multi 5 and a discard mirror is a rough one.
Yeah,
I agree.
exactly. And those were the right moles, is the thing.
Maybe you could bomb a land instead. Like,
That's the only thing. But even then, that's saying, yeah, I'm gonna draw a bunch of lands. The amount of lands that got drawn was probably definitely on the high end of the distribution. And I mean, keeping the Valdez isn't bad. It's about what you think you can and can't answer.
yeah. I mean, like, actually, against a discard deck, I think you're supposed to keep lands because then your top decks are more alive if you have mana out, and their
That's
discard can't
true,
hit
yeah.
with lands. Like, I remember reading a strategy article a while ago from a pro or something who said that sometimes if a deck is pressuring you with discard, sometimes it's better to just discard spells and play out lands because then it makes your top decks way better, and that's how you beat discard decks.
So Cyber does have Isolate in the deck
Oh,
and also has
interesting.
Neon Claw Knight. Did board in both of those.
How did they find room for that?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Maybe they just boarded out a bunch of. Maybe they boarded out Crystal Wave because it's not impactful enough.
Crystal, yeah, I mean, it's a counter spell. But if you're bringing in like Isolate, you have other interaction for stuff on
Maybe
the board.
bring out Anapraxias because like there's not enough targets.
-2/-2 does do basically nothing against the deck.
Oh no, never mind.
And
They did not bring out Anapraxias because it's literally in hand.
it's right there, yeah. They could have brought out some copies of it. Found out too. Epid does keep the hand. Land Valdez Duress 2 Prying Inquiries.
That's a
and
lot
an
of discard.
Exunt.
Oh, and
That is a lot of discard. I guess you Duress here.
yeah, you start off the discard with some duresses because you want to know what to hit. Oh, never mind. I do not agree with
I
that.
mean, it is literally all 2-drops, so it doesn't matter here. But yeah, I think it's better to because you probably hits one of those cards. What do you get rid of here?
Well, so basically, if Epid opened on duress, they could have gotten rid of Prying Inquiry. But now that but since they open up on Valdez, Cyber gets to decide, and so Cyber will be able to hand attack Epid.
Yeah, I think it comes down to the top decks here. It does get rid of Anapraxis Endeavor. That's probably what I'm getting rid of if I'm Cyber.
So now that I think about it, I do think Mario Weaver 8-Sack appreciates playing against Epid's deck more than Cyber's deck because wait, no, I don't actually know why.
I think it might be. I think it's tough to say, but I think it might be Cyber, just because the board state is a little bit easier to interact with.
Maybe. Does
Like I think 8-Sack has the ability to go and get stuff, and Cyber doesn't have a lot of ability to do stuff on the opponent's turn.
actually, yeah, you're right. But
Epid might just be like, oh, by time, all or nothing. I win. There's no room for your deck to interact.
actually, yeah, good point.
Holy discard. Take 1 Inquiry. This is going to be another top deck match, which is at least interesting, I suppose.
It is interesting and very tense. I mean, it also makes for good commentary because there's huge swings, right?
It's true. I mean, yeah, it does put a lot more up to what gets drawn, which is kind of exciting in a certain way.
Okay, another land. So Epid doesn't have to play Course Bed tap this turn anymore to hit 3 mana on curve.
Yeah. You got 3 mana on curve?
I think you just jam Prying Inquiry here and hope to take something important.
You know your opponent's basically entire hand.
What? So you do take Valdez here? Or I think you'd have to take Neon Claw Knight because you don't want your opponent to have a threat in play. Or no, maybe you do take. Oh, okay. So I guess Neon Claw is getting answered by Exunt.
Yeah, that's true.
And then
the rest takes Isolated, and
then Epid has Valdez left over after all that to start beating down. Oh, Flames Approach. That's pretty good.
That's an answer. I mean, I guess you take Flames. Or do you take Flames Approach with the Duress now?
You take Flames Approach and then Corpse Bed it.
Yeah, very wise. You play Neon Claw Knight here. You just take the discount mode in this deck.
Yeah, I think you do because it brings you closer to flashing back Flames Approach.
Yeah, because then you draw a land and you get back Flames Approach.
Yeah, so Neon Claw is going to make reduction, and then I guess this turn Epid can do Exunt, Duress, Corpse Bed, Flames Approach.
The question is, will Epid think of Flames Approach and Duress before playing a land?
I think so, because there's no reason not to. I mean, they don't actually have to do it this turn. They could just go, they could keep up the Clue Crack and then just hold up Exunt for Neon Claw.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, yeah,
it's not like Cyber's going to be able to flash this thing back next turn.
they are if they get an attack in.
They need to first cast the front side.
Yeah, Epid does play a land first.
All right, I guess they're cracking clue this turn then, unless they also decide to rest, in which case then that's actually really bad play for them. So I hope
Yeah,
Epid doesn't do that. Oh, okay, yeah, I guess they're keeping up the clue now.
yeah.
All right, makes sense. Does Epid know about the Flames approach?
No, I think it was drawn just last
Okay,
turn, so it's not
so Epid
known.
still managed to play around it pretty well. And Apraxias gets back Neon Claw, but oh, it gets back Valdez.
Yeah, get back Valdez with that. Get back Neon Claw, use reduction function to play Neon Claw. Prax Clue.
Oh, interesting.
I guess you're holding up an Apraxias here.
With what? You don't have enough. Oh, I guess.
You do have enough to use a reduction function. Then you get back Valdez.
I don't think
That's
you want to
interesting, though.
use the reduction function on Apraxias. I think you want to save them for a Flames approach.
Yeah. So I think you would much rather be an Apraxias, get back your Valdez and use it right now. Deal with the card in your opponent's hand.
Epid finds another land.
Finding lands, it's not good.
Okay,
That's not
that's
a land.
good.
That is a threat.
It dies to two Flames approaches, but forces Cyber to use both. Oh no, it dies to isolated, actually.
That is true.
I think you jam it anyways, because, I mean, it's pretty open.
Yeah.
Mafia,
You know your opponent's isolated in hand, but if you play it now,
wait,
you make him use it.
no, they're going to Valdez instead. Huh.
Okay.
I guess to soak up some Flames approaches first. And Cyber's going to use reduction function on a prac. Okay, that's interesting.
Choice. I mean, there's worse things you do. You get back your
Neon
get back
Claw,
Neon Claw Knight.
which means that it actually kind of breaks even on mana in a way.
Yeah, you get back Neon Claw Knight, replay Neon Claw Knight, and then use the discount to Flames approach and kill Valdez.
Actually, yeah, that's pretty good. And that's a
Not
land.
bad. It's a land. So now you don't even have to do that. You can save your reduction function. Well, you don't have any more red, so
yeah.
you still have to use it.
But it leaves you open to flashing back Flames approach next turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the mana is a little unfortunate there, but yeah, Flames approach. Let the Valdez your opponent has a duress in hand that they corpse bed, get rid of the Flames approach. You have a second one.
I mean, you do have like,
I mean,
so you can go Mafia into corpse bed, or you can go duress Shardstone Rift Mafia, but you can't do both.
you should be duressing now and then corpse betting, I think, which is what you should have done earlier. So I won't bet on.
Oh, they're duressing.
I guess I was wrong. They're gonna do it now, actually.
Okay,
yeah,
I mean, I guess it does clear both Flames approaches then.
It really does.
But
yeah.
But then Cyber gets a turn with Neon Claw on board, and Epid has no plays.
No.
I think Epid was like trying to go for the rest into Mafia, but like now they realize they kind of have to take the Flames approach so that they have a chance to corpse bet it.
Yeah, that's definitely the play. You can't let Flames approach sit around. You will simply lose.
Does Cyber know about the corpse bed?
I would wager it's been in hand for a while. They said nice value lines. I presume that's what it is.
Yeah. All right. So Epid needs to draw something to catch back up on board.
You have Mafua. That's a creature.
It's 4-mana exile target creature, and then it dies.
That's so good.
Do you not like playing 4-mana exile target creatures? I mean, that's a premium limited removal.
I love playing limited. Yeah.
Actually, how much do premium removal
the serpent?
How much does premium removal cost in Canada these days? Like premium limited removal.
Oh, limited removal?
Yeah.
I honestly haven't played limited in a while.
Unrelenting kills Neon Claw Knight. Never mind, Mafia does not have to do anything now.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But Epid knows that Cyber has isolated, so Mafia, like, if you play out Mafia and don't do anything with it, then it's really bad.
I mean, like, I guess it depends. Premium removal is probably still like 4. Because like I remember in Foundations, like Bake into a Pie is still really good.
Don't they straight up have murder in Foundations like common?
I don't think so. Well, because Foundations has like a bunch of cards that are in like side decks that count as things. That like count as part of the set, but kind of aren't.
You mean like the jumpstart decks?
Things like that,
right.
Where it's like got the foundation thing, but it's not actually in the boosters and not in the limited format.
Wait, they're playing Mafia and what? Interesting.
I mean, I say you exile the Neon Claw Knight, gets isolated, and then you solve Unrelenting.
I guess, but
I guess
This feels like a bad exchange, but actually no, I think it is good because it leaves Unrelenting to fetch something useful.
Yeah, Unrelenting gets you just get buy time and then just draw all or nothing and then win.
If Cyber Topside could burn spell, does that
That's pretty good.
doesn't actually kill Mafia though, or no, it does. Valerie into Isolated, yeah, that's really good.
I mean, yeah, Valiant Isolate's very nice.
Fortunately for Epid, at least Valerie doesn't get to downtick and get value off of it this turn, but that's still really good Valerie swing because
Yeah,
Valerie gets loyalty counters from its stack. I still don't know why it does that, but it does, and it's really annoying.
see, play Isolated, all enduring Mafia, shut off, gets a Deuter, 5 counters. Get back like Prying Inquiry, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
This card's so good.
I know.
I honestly somehow I've like every time I see this card, I keep forgetting to read the -2. You know, it's like the best part of the card. I'm like, oh, cool.
Epid didn't fetch before drawing. Epid didn't fetch before drawing.
Deck thinning is deck winning. Simple as
Is there
simple
anything
as
worth
that.
keeping? Is there any fetchables in deck that Epid wants to keep around?
Lands or
Yeah,
cards?
lands. I mean, is there any reason not to crack that thing?
Only card is only swamp is corpse bed. Everything else is
Okay, yeah, no
Wow.
reason not to do that then.
no. There's no utility lands or anything. No other reasons. I don't think. So what do you do here?
You find happiness into Unrelenting. Unrelenting
Yeah.
probably fetches something.
Yeah, I don't know what you get necessarily.
I think you get one of your scam pieces.
Mm.
No, wait.
If you still have them, we can see. We haven't seen any of the scam pieces this game, despite the scam deck.
If Epid boarded out the scam, then the viewers won't even know what we're talking about.
It's just you know how to make the card show up in chat.
Yes,
You
but
do
I
that.
can't do that right now because that would be considered outside interference
Really?
or outside assistance or whatever.
Just pull it up in the deck builder.
That requires me to go because I have to like put a block of color over the timer. So anytime I point OBS at anything other than the deck or the game, I have to manually go and edit it, and that's really annoying.
Hmm.
Oh, I know.
Well,
I should implement something into Cognitus that lets you whisper into chat, where you can type something in chat and it won't show up for anyone else, but I can still hover over the card names.
Oh, perfect. See, real developer over here. Well, if you're gonna do that, then I won't have to read the cards off.
Yeah.
But I still will because I like reading. Man, we explained the combo at the start.
Yeah, but without pulling up the cards, it's completely abstract.
Think, use your noggin. Imagine a magic card that sets your life total to 0, makes it so you can't lose the game, your opponent's gonna win the game, and you can't gain life until the opponent's next turn, and then lets you take an extra turn, and then gets exiled. And it's got like a person with a skull on it.
Which print?
It's all like mist.
Are you sure? I thought it has Sans Undertale on it.
This is the original, the MAC print. I don't know which version is an Epid deck. Well, there's one version that's Thanatos from Hades. There's one that's kind of a sketch of a small child on a compass, and then there's one with Sans Undertale.
Wait.
And there's also the Champions print, which is kind of a dude holding the burning staff almost.
Wait, which one's a small child on a bicycle?
On a compass. It's the Artist Series Mint JS one.
I see.
673 on the Instigator. All or Nothing. Does All or Nothing have? Oh god, I put in parentheses here. I put in quotes because it has an or in the name.
Oh yeah, right. It screws up the search.
Yeah, there's one I think that's a Bloodborne reference, and then there's Original Plagues, and it's just a dude in a tavern.
Has Epid done anything while we were chatting?
Played Find Happiness.
What did that get?
Land? I think it was Murky Pete, and then milled another Find Happiness mystery, it would seem, and Lava Torn Fields.
Hey, do you main phase Unrelenting to get the happiness trigger, or do you hold up Unrelenting in case Cyber decides to do some more wild stuff with Valerie?
I think you might as well just hold it up.
Yeah, good. I mean, you could draw into something that you can only play at sorcery speed, maybe.
Well, you can play that next. You can play that next turn.
So, like, I guess 2 mana stuff that you really want to play this turn. What could that
You know, your opponent's probably gonna prying inquiry you next turn. Like I feel like you can look at their graveyard and you can imagine that's the best thing to be doing with your Valerie flashback.
Ooh,
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I don't know how much. I don't think that's huge or anything. It's not a bad
it's pretty
card.
good.
It's a duder. See, now that becomes the question of how you use Valerie.
I think you just plus Valerie this turn and run out Lucian instead.
Yeah, Lucian good.
Lucian plus a
And then I
sleeper
guess
cards.
I guess you fetch a scam piece with your unrelenting
Yeah,
and
I guess
Epid
so.
side.
Oh wait, no, Valerie can still minus the prying inquiry this turn due to the amplify function.
That's not reduction function. That's amplify
Oh,
function.
yeah, I need to get my eyes checked.
What if Cyber hits a 23 drop here? Wait, they haven't played a land this turn. They still have it.
Ah,
They didn't play a land this turn. They still
oh,
have Prying Inquiry.
that's really bad for Epid.
Yeah, because now you can't. I mean, I guess you still tutor a card, but it just gets hit by Prying Inquiry anyways.
Also, find happiness draws you a card, which gets hit by prying inquiry. Oh, you can't play around this, unfortunately.
You simply can't. Yeah, I mean, you have to play the Unrelenting, and I guess try and get 2 cards into your hand now.
Valor's already at 4 loyalty because it gets loyalty counters for some reason when the stack triggers.
I feel like Valerie could just like make a 1/1 when you cast a spell that targets.
Yeah,
and
I
it'd
know.
be
I don't know.
Very reasonable.
I don't know why it gets loyalty.
I don't know. I don't design cards.
Me neither. I tried designing cards for, or last year I tried designing cards for the wild card slots for a community set, and none of them got in. I was sad.
Mine didn't get in either. The only set I've made was for Secret Santa.
Did any of that get into MSEM?
No, it was like I made it in like a week. It was awful.
At least
It was
yeah.
probably about like a third of the flavor text there should have been. But I'm bad at writing flavor text. And like I said, I had like a week.
At least I have one card in MSEM.
Do you?
Do you know what card that is?
Hold on.
Do you need a hint?
Wait, is this? It's okay. What situation will allow you to put a card into the format? That's what I'm trying to think of.
It's one of the wild cards.
Yeah,
one of the community.
I mean,
cards.
just like like it's not a card you designed. It's just a card with your.
No, it's a card I designed for one of the community slots that actually got in.
I looked it up. It's tenuous existence.
Okay, you can
not know that.
You can just instigator search my name. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no Toho on it. How would I know?
That was before I started winning all the time.
You started winning
and started making Toho my thing.
So, cracks the Murky Pete, unrelenting. I guess you have to do.
Is Find Happiness still floating? Yeah, it is.
It'll get played. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess you just have to unrelenting, get rid of the soldiers.
That's really bad though.
Well, because you get the Find Happiness first. So if you draw a land, then you get rid of the soldiers, and you don't.
You have to choose now before Find Happiness resolves.
Ooh, that's not good. That's unfortunate. Statistically speaking, you've hit a lot of lands. You're probably going to draw a non-land off the Find Happiness and Misery. So I think you
that's
choose
the gambler's fallacy. Unless
it's not the gambler's fallacy. It's just math.
Unless there's some deck thinning going on. How many lands does Epid have left?
So Epid has 7 lands on board and 5 in grave, which means assuming they haven't boarded out any lands, I believe they have 13 or 14. Okay, which means it is pretty decent odds, I think, because you have 38. We're pulling up the hyper geometric calculator. There's 14 lands and 38 cards. You're looking at 1 card. You got about, give me a 36% chance of hitting a land, which is solid odds, I suppose. I don't know if that is much different than your normal chances of hitting a land. It is. It's lower.
But is it lower enough to matter?
I mean, it's like about. Oh, there you go. Corrupted Memory. That doesn't really do very much, but you know, it's a magic card.
And they do choose the search mode.
See? Picked the right choice. They hit a non-land. It doesn't do anything, so Cyber is not going to pick it. But you know,
is there any useful thing is there any 4-drop that's still active from the graveyard?
I don't think they have any way to use anything in the grave. Does the Afterlife takes its due?
It's actually castable right now.
Which has Reconstruct.
Yeah, you can reconstruct your Mafia.
It wouldn't do Squid because it blows up the creatures on board, which Cyber.
There's creatures on board.
Two 1/1s. The scary creature on board has indestructible. Fails to find. I mean, you're searching for a card with a quality. It is theoretically possible they do not have 4-drops in the deck.
I still think Epid should have at least tried to thin their deck because
I mean, I guess you're probably not running the Afterlife Tickets too. That probably got boarded out.
I mean, like you just grab one of your. Actually, is there anything good that you want to thin? I guess you don't have anything you want to thin, but still, you probably should have at least grabbed the card from it so that you have an extra card in hand in the future for any discard shenanigans that happen.
Excellent. Oh, well, I don't think that does anything, but excellent.
Yeah, this is very unfortunate for Epid.
Yeah, I think Cyber just turns Lucian into a beater and puts Epid on a draw a good card or you die this turn. Clock.
Does Epid have enough mana to just combo off?
I think so. That's why you use another. You don't have a. Valerie's until the end of your next turn?
Yeah, I know, right? Every time I read this card, it just gets more nutty. Or it gets more unfair.
It's kind of like the questing beast of Planeswalkers almost. But, like, the abilities aren't complicated. They just keep getting better.
Yeah. You know, this card used to be even better?
What happened?
It used to just pick up the card. Like, it just used to return the card to your hand so you can recast it and then pick it up again.
Yeah, I just pulled up Instigator. So it and it didn't even exile the card after it free casted it, apparently. That's astonishing.
I know.
So it used to be it deals 1 damage to any target.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot about that part.
So just pick something for 1.
Yeah. That card was absolutely nuts when it came out. It's still nuts now, but imagine playing against it.
Yeah, it didn't see play for a while. No, which is the thing. I feel like it only got big recently.
Well, it saw plenty of play. It's just that nobody plays the deck that goes in. Like I'm pretty sure it saw consistent play, or at least once every GP, somewhat.
I don't know. Maybe I was more absent early 2024, but I feel like I would have. Like I feel like it's gotten bigger recently.
I do not agree with that Exhunt because you could have top decked an Unrelenting and then managed to wipe the board and kill Lucian with the Exhunt.
True. You gotta play your outs.
What's that? Oh, and Apraxia for 2 modes.
Yeah. Get rid of Epid's Grave and then get back, I don't know, your Valdez.
It gets a Valor trigger. I guess that's the only thing that matters here.
Yeah.
But if it targets any player, not just opponents, why? Why does it have so much? Why is it so good? Why?
That's just a spell that targets.
Yeah.
Simply put. The target anything in particular. What's up? The sky.
Picking up and not casting it.
The end of your next turn. There you go. Deck thinning is deck winning.
You have thin earlier when you had the chance to.
A wise master told me that.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean,
the piece is still there. You are not dead right now. Next turn, your opponent will have 5 power. Simply top deck.
Yeah, I think you're actually right here.
You simply have to pass and hope you get. I think if I was Cyber, I think you would never see me again if I lost this game. I think you would never see me again. I think I would disappear off the face of the planet. I would change my name. I would never play Magic again.
Honestly, Cyber's casting an Apraxia probably on Valdez. I think the dream's dead.
I mean, is it? Yeah, Valdez. It's tough.
Wait, is this lethal? Valor's going to get some triggers.
Well, oh yeah. That's just the 1 trigger. It's 5 damage right now. See? Well, you have Valdez. You probably can't do anything.
Yeah, I know. So Epid can't kill himself. That's one thing that they can do with all or nothing. You have to name 20. You have to name Fairy 2 here. They just name 2. Maybe you draw it. You're still dead after that. So you need to top deck into exactly buy time. And you need your opponent to not Valdez you. You can do that in response to Valdez. Wait, no, you don't have enough mana for all or nothing plus buy time, right? Or, no, you do. Okay. There is a chance, a very slim chance. Well, you'd have to what? You need to all or nothing into buy time, and then cast buy time, and then top deck all or nothing on your extra turn. You have the mana for it. Exactly the mana for it. Bob's with the Lucian. Lucian's not going to swing. Okay, that's... You don't have lethal. Your opponent has enough life gain. Maybe I wouldn't do that, but not a big deal. I think you do. I think you're forced to do this in response. No. Oh.
Just pitches it.
Well,
I mean,
I don't think there will.
it's hard to not be discouraged at this part of the game. You mean you have to do that? I guess.
Like you.
The thing is, if you hit buy time, like you have to hit buy time, play buy time, which is a two of,
Yeah.
and then you have to then on your either what is it? Either one of your turns, you have two draws.
Okay, you can still top
So
deck buy time right now. Oh, that's
well, that's not
disappointing.
buy time.
Yeah, that's certainly
That's
not
for
buy
sure.
time. That's one way to put it.
That's a question. What number would you name for all or nothing? If trying to hit buy time.
Uh,
Like two,
right now.
three.
Right now, you're just dead if you hit buy time.
That's true. Well, before, if you have all or nothing in hand in the previous
Oh,
situation.
at 6 life. I think you name 2, maybe 2 or 3, and hope that it works out. You need to like hit. You can hit a 1-drop plus a buy time or a land plus a buy time.
Yeah. You just need to hit a buy time.
See.
Oh, there you go. It was 5 cards deeper. So that wasn't happening. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, no. Well, actually, because you have a land on top, so you name. No, you're one short. You're
Also,
one
it seems
short.
like Epid is using the art of the girl on the bicycle.
That's a compass. Still, I mean, it might be a bicycle thing, but it's definitely a compass.
Right. Epid said that they threw game 1. What happened game 1? I've already forgotten by now.
Game 1. That is a great question. I don't remember.
This is what happened when we commentate late at night.
Wasn't it I don't remember. Cyber had I remember it was a lot of discard. Cyber died to the Flames Approach and Void Flare. I remember that. I don't know if there was misplays.
Right. I think I kind of remember now, but Epid What about this game? Do you think Epid did anything wrong this game? They did get unlucky.
I mean,
oh no, the unrelenting.
I think
That was really bad.
the Unrelenting was a misplay. The only other thing I can think of is the initial mulligan, which is questioning, like they said, do you need to search for villainy and use that to take over like you did last game? Because even if one has isolate, if you have a discard, you can make it work. But
I think
really
I think I'm fine with Epid's mulliganing decision this game.
Yeah, it was a great hand. A lot, like a ton of discard. Like I think 3 discard cards. But the thing is, when you have that much discard, it comes down to whatever your opponent can stick through it and whatever you draw afterwards. So it's very possible you end up having some bad luck.
Yeah.
Usually it's a mixture of both. There's individual misplays and then there's just general quote unquote bad luck. Like there are some most games fall into a line between those two when you lose. I think, at least in my experience, it's some mixture of you got kind of unlucky and didn't draw pieces that you wanted to draw, and you misplayed and you could have played your outs better, or if you'd played a certain way, then you would live longer, things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. You got to semifinals, and I think the deck showed up.
Has Epid won a GP yet?
I would be surprised if they haven't.
I don't think they have.
Let's go. Let's see. Yeah, we can control. They won GPL pass.
Oh, right.
June of this year.
That was that GP where they. What's the promo card again?
Let's see. No. Oh yeah, I can just pull it up on here. It was the Hierarch Ranger promo.
Oh right. That they won with humans. Yeah. So like both players here have won a GP already. So no hard feelings.
Yeah. Cyber, it's definitely been longer though. Has Cyber won a GP?
I'm pretty sure they won one. They won. I think they have a Kalen promo to show for it.
Let's see. Research. They designed Cyber. They designed the card, but it was a Wizernius promo. Actually, so I don't. It doesn't look like Cyber's one.
Surely they have.
If the Lackey Bot GP archives be believed, they haven't, unless they won under a different name.
Okay. Well, I guess maybe Cyber will get their first win then.
I've imagined they've gone very far many times.
Well, actually, no. This would also be Gal's first. Okay, I'm really rooting for Gal to win in the next game.
Someone's gonna win there first,
unless we're mistaken. Yeah.
The only person in the semifinals that had already won one is Epid.
Yeah.
Because Gao hasn't, Neon hasn't, and
what?
Cyber hasn't.
Has Neon not won? Oh yeah, I guess they haven't. Yeah.
Not to my knowledge.
Didn't they won? No, I think they won one of them with Merfolk or something.
Ricky doesn't know who's won and who hasn't because he's won like 6 GPs.
I haven't won any GPs in like the last 2 years. All my wins were.
I mean, that is true. Your last win was March of 2023.
Yeah, I had like.
Have you tried winning?
I had a really hot streak in those few months, and then never again. And that's how there's a bunch of Toho cards in the format. But then it's slowed down by a lot now, so it's slowly trickling in.
Someone winning with Merfolk.
Lord of Atlantis, maybe Lord of the Bubble Dome.
We're going to Dreadrise now.
Yep.
I do remember Merfolk doing something. I do remember that. Yeah, okay, so
yeah.
something's
Lord of the Bubble Dome.
Because there's a promo for it.
Grand Prix Warsaw.
Their name is that one friend in the thing is why. But yeah, they did win one.
So
it's just
I'm pretty sure Cyber. Oh, I guess I can search by champion. Can I do that? Let me see. Champion. What Cyber?
On GP Warsaw.
Is that? No, that's a secret layer.
Hmm.
Huh, they haven't won a champion. Oh wait, no, they won Team Unified Constructed, but no, they haven't won a GP yet. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. I haven't won anything.
That's because you hardly play.
I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah. It's true. You make a good point. I don't think if I played, I'd win much more, to be honest with you.
Oh, you would win more than 0.
If I played the last 12 GPs, I still wouldn't have anything under my belt.
And that's fair. I mean, most people won't have anything under their belt.
Yeah.
Okay, but at least the top 8 promos are pretty achievable.
Yeah, top 8 promos?
The top 8 season promos.
Oh, that's true.
I just need to remember to hit at least one top 8 every 4 months so that I can steadily increase the Toho count, or the Toho ratio of the format.
That's the thing. I don't really have cards to promo. I've never thought about that. What I would actually promo.
Yeah.
Probably like, I don't know, some really random card. I gotta make my Far Wandering Guardian promo or my Griffin County promo.
You would still need to win a game with no, you can just win with flyers. Yeah.
Should go back to playing flyers. Probably good actually. See, if I just ran flyers as like a more like an actual control deck instead of just like a goofy aggro deck, probably be pretty good.
Maybe.
Like just mainboard Lofty Denials and Cosmic Sinkholes. Do you run Cosmic Sinkhole in a mono blue deck?
I think that's just strictly worse than Invalidate. No, it's not strictly. It's strictly better than Invalidate, but not by much.
Invalidate is a good Magic card. So, I mean, Neon was playing that, and they got to semis. So, clearly I should be on Cosmic Sinkhole.
Yeah.
The math checks out.
All right, and with that, I think we're going to end the recording.
Good place to end.